So in August of 1974, I finished a year-long meditation retreat. And during that retreat, I learned how to juggle. I thought it was a really cool meditation. So there were some other jugglers on that retreat with me, and we decided after a year of meditating, we wanted to take a road trip. So we piled into the car, we had our juggling equipment, and we had big jugs of fabulous Italian red wine. We had balls of mozzarella cheese, which we bought from the gentleman who actually went around with his water buffalo from whence the mozzarella cheese came. And we also had figs that were as big as one's fist and the ripest, most delicious figs ever. So we pulled into this deserted station. There were only 2 people on the platform. And it was one of these old-fashioned trains that made that noise, kind of chugga, 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 chugga. So we knew there, okay, we're on the platform. Is anybody coming on? This elderly couple is slowly going over to the train. And there's an old Italian gentleman. He's got one of those old Italian gentleman caps on, and this beautiful white-haired old Italian lady who looks like it's probably his wife. And we're figuring out what's happening is he's putting her on the train. So she's making her way up the stairs, and she looks into the train, and we can see just the moment when she sees us. Long hair, wine, mozzarella, figs, juggling equipment. And we were sitting on the floor of the train because it was so crowded, there were no regular seats. And I remember seeing her. She gets on the train and she looks at us and she looks at this packed out train, and her face just drops. And she turns to her husband with this plaintive look like, do I really have to get on this train? Do I really have to go on this journey? And he looks her in the eye and he says, "Coraggio." And the old woman rises up and walked on the train. We think of courage as something that we recognize people for in terms of great heroism, famous stories from history. But what I love about the story of this woman in Italy is it's just the kind of everyday courage we need to face the challenges of life. The word courage comes from the root cor, which means heart. How can we all cultivate the heart to face the challenges of our everyday lives? So what's an everyday practice for helping to cultivate, nurture, and support the energy of courage, that strength of heart? Well, the Taoist masters have cultivated this and studied this for millennia, and they've brought it to us now in very simple, easy forms that we can practice every day. So I want to share with you 3 simple, beautiful movements that help cultivate this quality of courage. And the first one, you take a medium-wide stance. Of course, you're upright and you have a little smile. Let your arms float up in front of your heart, making a cross at the wrists. And then you're just going to sink a little bit into the earth, and your arms are going to open like you're drawing a bow. And your eyes look out past your fingertips. Shoulders relaxed, back, chest, heart open. So you face the challenge with your heart opening. And then you release, the arm drops down, comes back, you sink, and you go out the other direction. So here it's as though I'm drawing the bow here. And it's important when you do this, you don't want to look like this. So that's not how we face our challenges. We face our challenges, we're upright, we're poised, our eyes are focused but soft, back is widening and opening, releasing all across the upper arms, connected into the earth, and then we release and let the arm come back to the center, and then we shift back to the other side. So this is a beautiful practice. You can just do this 6, 8 times in each direction. And then if you need more courage, shift into this stance. So your weight's mostly on your back foot. It's a triangular stance. You're focused out in front of you, looking out past your fingertips. Again, your eyes are focused but soft. You're aware of everything, and especially whatever the challenge is that you're facing. Breathe deep into your lower belly. Feel the earth supporting you. Expect nothing. Be ready for anything. And this is a fabulous pose for just summoning that energy of courage. You got your warrior poses in yoga and everything, but this is more realistic in terms of actually facing an oncoming energy. You have that little smile, right? And then switch sides. And it's the same thing. Heart's open, back's open, widening across the arms. Fingertips are alive. Weight's on the back foot. You're in a triangular pose. Maybe you saw Amy Cuddy's TED Talk where she talked about power posing, and she did a lot of study of the changes in people, and it does change your state. It changes your mood, your energy, your sense of yourself if you stand in a Wonder Woman pose. Well, imagine how much more so if you stand in this pose that's been cultivated for thousands of years by the Qigong masters. I'm going to show you one more, which is one of my personal favorites. So you can do any one of these or all of them. You know, let's say you're getting ready to give a presentation and you're feeling some butterflies and you want to get the butterflies to fly in formation. Maybe you've always dreamed about starting your own business, but you need to summon the courage. Maybe you are in an unhealthy relationship and you need the courage to leave. Or maybe there's a prospect of actually a healthy relationship and you need the courage to make a commitment and go into it. You can do these practices every day, just a few minutes a day, to nurture, to strengthen, to build that energy. So here's one more. In this one, you can see I'm turning around the vertical axis of my body, and I'm shifting around that vertical axis, and my eyes look back behind me. Then I shift, and the way I shift is I'm rotating from my center, the Chinese call it the gua, the inguinal crease. We just call it the hip nest. I draw that back, and that's what brings my arm forward. So I'm just rotating around the central axis, and my arms are coming along for the ride. So I look back behind my fingers and then whoosh, straight out in front. And we do all these movements with the minimum amount of effort. Keep a little smile on your face when you practice. And when you finish any of these practices, you can do any one of these three or all three as a set. Just take a moment. Feel grateful for the opportunity to practice. And know that you're investing in that quality of heart, that courage, to bring more strength and real power to your life every day. Thank you.